halftime. Describe everything that happened all the way up to the end.
The whole game.
Well, give us a snapshot of what you saw.
Yeah, I hate that stupid word, physicality, but they were more aggressive to start the game. I thought they picked their pressure up defensively, kind of sped us up, and then, just talked about it, in the timeouts at halftime, just being poised, getting to our spots, spacing, and not letting them speed us up. And at halftime, we had 10 random possessions, and we scored .20 on those possessions. Then when we got in stuff, we really did what we were supposed to do. And so, just not fighting the pressure. I thought he was aggressive, like they were supposed to be, being down 2-1, and we didn't really meet that intensity until the fourth quarter. And so that's just a lesson for us. Like just stay the course, do what we're supposed to do, continue to execute like we've been talking about. Don't get bored with the process. If they're going to blitz us, or they're going to do those things, you've done your job. Just get off the basketball, make the right play. And I thought their aggressiveness kind of took us out of what we've been doing. So 2-2, they're a good team, great team. Won a championship a couple years ago, and so they're not going to give in. Like, we got to beat them, and that's okay, So go to Denver on Tuesday and be ready with not really a new game plan, but a new mindset of what we need to do. And I thought, DA did a good job tonight. I thought he did a good job of mixing stuff up, and they hit us with some different things. And like I said, we'll be ready for next game. But our mentality is like, listen, we understand how we got to play. We know the blueprint, so now we just got to do it.
The last shot, the dunk.
Things we've been talking about for 5 years, offensive rebounds, and you get beat on the offensive rebound. But, Joker shot an air ball, wasn't really expecting that. Brown cut to the middle of the floor, and, James and Norm was kind of in between trying to, check with him, and Gordon made a hell of a play, so, it is what it is.
So it seemed like Nicola really just made an effort to get in that restricted area to score buckets at you guys. Like, what was it about his effort tonight that,
The same effort we told you before the game and after last game. He's going to be aggressive, and he's going to look to score the basketball. When his team is down and, they're fighting for their lives, like, he's got to be the one that controls the game and do what he does. And like I said, 36 and 21, 8 assists. He was aggressive, and so that's what, great players do. And we expected that, and so just got to be ready for, ready for Game 5. They played a good game. And in the fourth quarter, we saw some things that we can do differently. But for the most part, like I said, we got to come out and meet their aggression to start the game, Game 5.
3 of the 4 games now have been decided by basically one possession at the buzzer. Like, how much does that maybe, obviously possessions are important, but stress the importance of every single possession just matters so much?
Yeah, I mean, we stress it a lot, and taking care of the basketball. We only had 10 turnovers, and we just didn't get the shots that we've been getting, throughout the course of the series. And we took some shots that we don't normally take as well, some questionable shots. But you got to be better. Just, stay with it. They're going to give you the answers to the test. And if you play the right way and do what we're supposed to do, we're going to get great shots.
Ty, what allowed you guys to get back in the game in the fourth quarter?
Picked up our intensity, being more aggressive, showed up some different looks, played a little zone, put Zoo on Gordon a little bit, just mixing it up a little bit, and kind of got him, off guard a little bit, kind of surprised him, and was able to take advantage of it. We was able to get stops, play faster, play in transition, and then was able to execute offensively. We've been doing, the last 3 games. So the fourth quarter is when we really executed and did what we were supposed to do.
Ty, to come back from 22 points down, take the lead, but lose it like that, does that change kind of the mental, emotional thought on these couple of days off?
No, I mean, it's part of the game. It's the playoffs. And so every game is different, every opportunity is different. And so, like I said, it's 2-2 going back to Denver. Well, we feel good that, we can beat this team. And so, it is what it is.
Ty, that 16 seconds left, you had the ball and shot clock was dead. What went into the process of going quicker and making sure you scored versus making sure that there was not going to be another possession for Denver at the end of regulation?
Because we were down. And so you want to take a shot on a goal. If you don't, you can foul and get another possession. So we wanted to go quick, score the basketball, which we did, and then we had to get a stop, which we did, but give up offensive rebound. So, yeah, getting extra possessions is what it's all about when you're down. And so attacking early, if we don't score, we can foul, and then, try to get another possession if they miss a free throw. And we executed really well, except for boxing out at the end, and he got a dunk at the end of the game.
Coach, early on, it looked like they wanted to try to put a lot of pressure there on James. What did you guys do, kind of in the fourth quarter, kind of easing things up for him, for you guys to make the comeback?
Well, I thought we talked about it throughout the course of the game, and even in the second half, just letting someone else come up, initiate, and we can still get in our same sets without trying to wear James down. And, when he's on the floor, like, we're a different team. And so we can't allow the pressure to speed us up. We can't allow the pressure to take us out of what we're doing. And we can't allow the pressure to wear James out. So just, some things that we got to do different, like you said, and just so we can save him, for the game where he's not getting worn down.
Possible.
Coach, you talked about giving this team a different look in the fourth quarter. You guys played a lot of zone in that fourth, and you took them out on a lot of stuff that they were successful in the first three quarters. What was it about that zone, especially having Kawhi at the top and his physicality and his anticipation? It just took him out. What was it? Why were you guys so successful with that zone?
Probably because they haven't seen it. I think they'll be more prepared for it next game. But just give them a different look. They had a good rhythm going offensively. They were attacking us in different ways. So just to try to change the momentum of the game, through the zone out there, and it worked. But we didn't come up with the win. But we'll be better in Game 5.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Nico, can you just kind of describe that game and come back and the final play?
It's a crazy pair of game. We can start the game. We tried to stay in the game in the second quarter. We did a good job to stay in, but just start the third was awful on both sides. So we were safe in that position, but we didn't give up. We lined up to play the first one with Kawhi and James. All those guys who were bogey. Amazing numbers were gave us a chance, but it's a tough day again. Really good plays. Playing basketball can be amazing, can be cool, but so that was an amazing play for them.
How hard is it to come back kind of emotionally from this when you come back from 22 down? You take the lead, but you don't get the win on a play like that.
And move on. No, it's 2-2. Down 3-0, something like that. It's 2-2. So, we're right there, right where we're supposed to be, close to it. So, I'm very glad there. We've done it once, but not to do it twice in their place. So, we have to go out there, regroup, move on. It's a tough one, but we still get a chance to win the series. And then take another one and come back here.
But having 2 days off, both you guys to reset. What are you going to end up there?
I think for both teams, though. Both teams, both teams. So now we just move on. It's been a tough one right now. It sucks to lose that way. So again, watch the film, figure it out, work on ourselves and move on.
Is it a skirmish before halftime?
Mm-hmm.
The skirmish before halftime. What did you see? What is that game that's already?
It's playoff basketball. Stuff happening like pretty much everywhere. So like I said, that's the way Breakers not like the rest of the game. I played ball the right away. That's what happened. That was a great game. With their side today. But like I said, okay, move on and be ready for Game 5.
Coach came in and told us that early on, you guys got behind due to a lack of physicality and intensity. Just as a leader of the team, what was the conversation to, with the team as you guys had this slow start?
Just keep fighting, get to our spots, try to still have space and, trust one another. And, that's it. But you got to give them credit. They played a great game. They came out with energy. And, Jokic led them all night.
That third quarter, I think Nicole made 6 baskets by himself, and the Clippers' entire offense had only 5 in that third quarter. Like, what was the challenge in that period specifically that helped Denver get off to a 22-point lead in the fourth quarter?
You said who had 6?
Nikola by himself.
That's what it was. Him being MVP player, getting to his spots, making shots, and got to give him credit. on the defensive end. Like you said, we had 5 baskets, and it's the playoffs is how it goes sometimes.
Kawhi, in a 2-2 series now, when you're looking at film in these off days, is it hard to mentally, emotionally not think it could have been 3-1? Is that in any way a challenge?
No, not for me. Like I've been saying, I'm happy to be out there and play. And you know, it's still a series, best of 3, and you know, we'll see what happens.
Kawhi, in that fourth quarter, you guys played a lot of zone. And you guys were successful. Why were you guys able to take kind of Denver out of their rhythm offensively?
Pretty much that. You know, we've been playing man all series. Probably the first time they see us in that zone. And it led us to, you know, getting some turnovers, getting some easy baskets, and it pretty much kind of helped us get back in the game.
Hey, Kawhi. You talked about not laying down there, down 22 in that fourth. Can you talk about how fighting back, what can I do kind of for confidence and going for game 5?
Just showed us that we wasn't giving up. You know what I mean? And I'm proud to see my teammates still battling in those moments. And I mean, it'll get us a good chance to look at film and see what we did right in those last minutes there and what we did wrong in the beginning. But yeah, just got to keep going.
Kawhi, what was the difference in that fourth quarter when you guys didn't make that run compared to the first 3 quarters of the game?
I think slowing their pace down a little bit, going into that zone, just getting out and getting to our spots. Obviously making shots, limiting them to one possession, getting rebounds, and going back on the other end, and that pretty much got us in a good situation.
Last one.
Kawhi, zooming out on the series, 4 games in, these 2 teams are obviously very different stylistically, but as someone that studies the game, how would you assess what makes these 2 teams so different and why the series has been this competitive?
It's like another 4 or 5 seeding series. You usually get some tough battles in these seeds, and you guys watched the end of the last, I guess, 2 weeks, 3 weeks of the season, and everybody was fighting. And I think we pretty much got the same record. So, that's how it is. The matchups might be different and different style of play, but, both teams are fighting to win.
Norm, how do you sum up this game? Everything that happened, going down 22, coming back, and then just the way that it ended.
It's a battle, we've said it as a team. This is going to be a dogfight every single game. Nobody's going to be able to give in or wants to give in, and a lot of will, a lot of poise in us, going down by 20 plus and being able to fight our way back and make the plays needed to, give ourselves a chance to win the game.
Norman, along that line, what's the biggest challenge for you in these next couple of days, kind of mentally, emotionally, when you lose a tough game like that?
Just bounce back. We know what time it is. Like we said, we've all said it. Like, that's a good team over there. They won a championship. They know what it's take. They got the will. They got the guys. They're not going to quit. It's just us going back to the drawing board and seeing how we can improve. I think in the previous 3 games we did a great job on their role players and not letting them have an impact, especially with Jokic, finding them on backdoor cuts and things like that, taking them off the glass. So I think watching film and seeing how we can get back to improving on taking those other guys out the game and trying to contain Jokic as best we can. I think giving up offensive rebounds, especially that one at the end of the game, boxing out. It's the little things, the basics are gonna determine the series. So it's that we don't got to reinvent the wheel. We know what we need to do to bounce back.
Norm, you've seen this series now. It's gotten chippy, to say the least. Like, how, as a team, do you understand and kind of embrace that part of it while not letting it be a detriment to what y'all want to do as far as outplaying the other team?
I mean, this is what we want. You know, this is what we're about. And this is what you work for. Tight, intense playoff series. You know, like I said, no team willing to give an inch, no team willing to back down. So it's gonna get chippy. We're gonna fight. You know, we got guys that like it. You know, we've been through a bunch of different types of series in our career. So it's nothing that we haven't faced or seen before. You know, it's just about who's going to be the team that's going to limit the easy mistakes or the gift baskets or do the little things to, you know, tighten up the game when you got two top teams battling and fighting.
Norm, going into the fourth quarter, you were 1 for 6, and then you catch fire there in the fourth quarter. Was it something that the defense was?
I was 1 for 6 with what?
Going into the shooting.
Shooting what, threes?
3, I think, yeah, threes.
I wasn't 1 for 6 going into the fourth.
1 for 4, there you go, field goal shooting though.
Nah, I had 2 baskets in the first quarter, so I was 1 for 6.
Maybe I got the stat wrong, but you got fired fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Did it just come down to what the defense were doing, or was it just you making shots?
Just taking the shots that are open to me. You know, I wasn't thinking about what my shooting percentage was, how many shots I missed or made. My focus is on whatever it takes to win the game. That's what my focus has been on to start the series. You know, how to make a play, how to have an impact on winning. It doesn't matter what I'm shooting. I have confidence that if I got an open shot and I take an open shot, I'm gonna make it. You know, I put the time and put the work in. So honestly, I didn't know what my field goal percentage or my attempts were at that point in the game. You know, my mindset was on being in position to give myself a chance to make plays for my team, whether that's me shooting, driving, kicking, playing defense, getting back, hustling. That's my mindset. So I don't really care about what the stats are, as long as we're winning. You know, I could have 5 points and we win the game, and I'm happy this time of the year. You know, that's all my mindset is focused on.
Okay, thanks, Norm.